The Aussie jumped sharply after the Reserve Bank of Australia kept rates unchanged at 3.25%. That surprised part of the markets, which expected a cut to 3%. In the accompanying statement, Governor Glenn talked about the upside surprise on inflation. According to him, recent outcomes on inflation were slightly higher than expected, though they still show inflation consistent with the medium-term target, with underlying measures around 2.5% over the year to September, and headline CPI inflation a little lower than that. Moreover, the introduction of the carbon price affected consumer prices in the September quarter, and there could be some further small effects over the next couple of quarters. We retain our view that the Reserve Bank will announce one more cut by the end of the year. While the Dow Jones recovered mildly by rising 19 points overnight, Asian markets are broadly lower as investors are cautious ahead of the U.S. election. As the presidential election approaches, a Pew Research Center poll conducted between October 31st and November 3rd suggested that President Obama's support was 48% compared with Romney's 45%, as the handling of Hurricane Sandy probably gave some credits to the president. In the Eurozone, people in Greece protested as the government plans to implement a new round of austerity measures so as to get an extra tranche of bailout funds. These measures include spending cuts and tax hikes and are expected to save around €13.5 billion in 2013-14. The European Central Bank is expected to leave its both standard and non-standard monetary policies unchanged at its Thursday meeting. For the Bank of England, Governor Mervyn King stated last month that, should those more positive signs fade, the MPC does stand ready to inject more money. While the majority of the members might still opt for a status quo at the upcoming meeting, we expect to see a split in the decision-making process. On the data front, UK BRC sales monitor dropped 0.1% year-on-year in October. The Australian House Price Index rose 0.3% quarter-on-quarter in Q3. The main focus in the European session is UK industrial and manufacturing production, while Eurozone PMI services final and PPI will be released. Canadian IV PMI will also be featured later today.